Hi, my friend. I'm going to talk with you today about UVA Rise, which is a part of the morning sunlight time that's really important for our circadian and quantum health. I'm Martha, and this is Light for Wellness, where we talk about all things related to circadian and quantum biology. It's mid-May here where I live, and I'm celebrating spring and UVA Rise, Ultraviolet-A Rise. I'm going to tell you what UVA Rise is and why I'm celebrating it. I'm going to talk more about why it's bringing me joy later in this video, but for now I'm going to talk about what is UVA Rise, how do we know when it's happening, and what are the top 4 benefits of spending time outside in UVA Rise. Ultraviolet A is a part of the electromagnetic light spectrum that is invisible to humans, but it makes up the bulk of the spectrum. And ultraviolet A, UVA, starts about 1 hour after sunrise. It lasts about an hour. So it's the beginning of ultraviolet A in the morning. Well, how do you know when that's happening in your area, right? How do you know that? There are 2 apps that I've found helpful. For the first couple of years that I've been doing this, I used an app called Circadian Life, and that was really helpful. More recently, I've switched to a brand new app made by Sarah Kleiner. Her app is called My Circadian app, and I'll link to those below. So those will tell you when UVA Rise is happening. Basically, UVA Rise is when the sun is 10 to 30 degrees above the horizon. I love these apps. Those are the only 2 apps that I'm aware of. I love those apps because you can use them when your phone is on airplane mode. Because of circadian quantum health, yes, my cell phone is usually on airplane mode, and I try to do as much as I can to communicate with people over Google Voice on my hardwired computer laptop that's connected to the Ethernet. But these apps update themselves when your phone is on airplane mode, so it's super helpful. Ultraviolet A light is available anywhere on Earth, any time of the year, so everyone has access to UVA Rise, which is the beginning of ultraviolet A during the morning. Here are the top 4 reasons why UVA Rise can help boost your health. The light signals from UVA Rise are absolutely key for our circadian health and our overall well-being. The light signals from UVA Rise reach our pineal gland through a pathway from our retina to our brain. The pineal gland plays a huge role in creating and metabolizing certain hormones that we need throughout the day. And the light signals on our skin are equally important for regulating all kinds of processes in our body. It's really important for the light reaching our eyes and reaching our skin to match. So a key tip is don't cover your eyes with glasses, contact lenses, or sunglasses when you're outside for UVA Rise. We'll talk maybe in another video about why you might want to find ways to keep your eyes uncovered through the rest of the day if it's possible for you. For example, when I'm walking around, my glasses that I usually wear, my prescription glasses, are kind of down my nose a little bit, which makes me look like a really old lady at 60. But I can walk around safely like this, and it lets the light go in over the glasses. I would only recommend doing that if it's safe for you. There are some manufacturers of prescription lenses that don't use any kind of coating on the lenses to block out the UV light and part of the blue light, and we need a full spectrum of light for our health. One of those manufacturers is called UVA Rise. They make blue blocking glasses, which I talk about in another video, and they can also make clear ones with your prescription. There may be other companies that do that, but I'm only familiar right now with UVA Rise. If you're familiar with other ones, let me know in the comments below. The second reason why it's really important to get some time in UVA Rise is because it prepares your skin to receive a sensible amount of stronger UVA and UVB sun later in the day. It prepares your skin to build melanin so you can tan, or if you have a dark skin color already, to deepen that color a little bit, and build your freckles if you have freckles. Freckles are amazing pockets of melanin, and I hope to share with you in another video on this channel about why melanin is so powerful and amazing for us. I really take great pleasure in watching my freckles kind of bloom in the spring as I'm preconditioning in the spring for more sun exposure, sensible sun exposure, as the sun gets stronger and stronger going into summer. So we prepare our skin in UVA Rise for protection, natural protection against sun damage later in the day. In addition to melanin, another way that UVA Rise protects our skin is the buildup of something called uracanic acid. Again, if the sun coming into our eyes and onto our skin, if those light signals don't match, if we're wearing sunglasses, for example, then we're not able to build up that natural SPF in our skin called uracanic acid, and also the melanin. And then we'll be more likely to burn. The third reason that UVA Rise light is very important is because it's part of the melatonin cycle that helps us sleep and repair our cells at night. Just really briefly, I'll go into this in more depth in another video, I hope, but really briefly, of course, we have melatonin that we build naturally in our body, in our pineal gland, and also in most of the cells in our body. Our mitochondria also make melatonin. But the pineal gland in our brain needs that signal, certain light signals, to build up that melatonin so we sleep really well. So let's say we built up lots of melatonin after sunset. We're blocking blue light after sunset. I just talked about that in a video. We're building up that melatonin at night. And then in the morning, that melatonin in the pineal gland is going to be transformed at sunrise, which we'll talk about more in another video. At sunrise, that melatonin in the pineal gland gets transformed by the first rays of blue light, a certain wavelength of blue light, into tryptophan. You may have heard of tryptophan. That's an amino acid we sometimes associate with turkey and making us sleepy. There may be truth to that, I'm not sure, but tryptophan gets created in the pineal gland from the melatonin during sunrise, when we first get the first blue light of day in our eyes. And then comes UVA Rise an hour later after sunrise, and that tryptophan in our pineal gland gets transformed in the pineal gland to serotonin. And you may have heard of serotonin. It's a wonderful hormone that boosts our mood, makes us feel more confident, and that boost during UVA Rise can last throughout the day. And that serotonin gets transformed in your pineal gland back into melatonin after sunset if you're blocking blue light indoors. And if you're wondering, by the way, how long should I be outside for UVA Rise, and do I need to be in direct sun? I'm going to share lots of tips about UVA Rise in my next video, but for now I can say that the sweet spot for UVA Rise for many people is about 20 minutes. And if you're wondering, oh, I'm really busy or I'm driving during that time, I'll share some tips in another video. Any amount of time you can spend in UVA Rise with bare skin, bare eyes, no lotion on your skin, as much bare skin exposed is comfortable for you. Today I'm outside in May and I've got a winter hat on and I've got more layers on than I normally do because it's unusually chilly this morning. But 20 minutes outside in the direct sun, if you can do that, is great. If you can't get outside, if you can't walk, we'll talk about that too in another video, what you can do. For example, you can just sit next to an open window, a screen is fine, or an open door. Sometimes when the weather warms up, June, July, I can stay outside for the full hour and really soak up those rays. I just feel amazing after that. And the fourth reason why UVA Rise is so important for our health and can really boost our mood and energy level. It's because during UVA Rise, something called POMC, it's a huge pro-hormone made of over 200 amino acids, and it's in our bodies and it's cleaved. It's broken up into many essential parts, many essential hormones that we need. And if we're not getting some skin exposed, then we're not getting the POMC cleaved. An example is it'll cleave into something called alpha MSH, and alpha MSH is what prepares our skin to make melanin. So during UVA Rise, we're not making the melanin, but our skin is being prepared to make melanin during the stronger UVB later in the day when it's in season and we have UVB. Another thing that POMC makes is beta endorphin, which is a natural opioid which boosts our mood and helps relieve pain naturally. So that's another reason to get out during UVA Rise. I find that when I get a good dose of UVA Rise on as much skin as possible, like I live in an intentional community where there are actually a lot of neighbors right next to me here, so I can't like bathe totally sunbathing nude like some people do who do this. But if you have the privacy, that's also really good for your health. But I can't quite do that. I'll have more tips around this kind of thing in the next video. But the beta endorphin is another reason why that POMC is really important. To cleave that POMC during UVA Rise, you'll need to have certain parts of your body exposed, your calves, your back, or your belly. And well, I don't know about you, but I don't really like to expose my belly, especially if people might walk by here. But I'm getting used to it. I'm much less shy about it now. I've been practicing going out for sunrise and UVA Rise for 2.5 years now. So I'm not too shy anymore. Finally, I want to share with you why I'm celebrating UVA Rise in the springtime. It's chilly today, but most days that sun feels really good. Even if it's a cloudy day, today it's quite overcast. It's much brighter outside than it is inside our houses or inside our workplaces. So we get the benefits of the sunlight and the light signals just going outside, even on a cloudy day. And if it's rainy, another tip we'll talk about in another video is maybe you have a sheltered place. I have a little area under my deck where I'm really lucky where I can sit when it's raining and still get the light signals into my eyes. Do I need to get the light signals on my skin every single time during UVA Rise? No. If the weather's not cooperating, no, I don't. I don't have to do that because the photons from the UVA light will flow like a wave and surround me no matter where I'm sitting, even in the shade. I'm celebrating because I can expose more skin when it's warmer and it just feels really good to have that sun on my skin. I'm celebrating that after a couple surgeries on my leg, I'm able to take off my compression garments now on my legs and gently build up some sun exposure on my legs in UVA Rise so that during the day I can also gently and slowly build up the sun exposure to my legs, which are very pale now because they haven't gotten any sun so far this spring. And in UVA Rise, I feel energized by the photons coming into my skin. I feel calm and also energized a little bit by the electrons that I'm absorbing through my feet and my bare feet on the grass, into my body, into my fascia, into that quantum highway that is our matrix of connective tissue, like our fascia. Right now I'm wearing wool conductive socks that have silver thread made by Harmony 783. I can leave a link below that is conductive, and you can buy conductive socks at other places I can link below. So it's kind of cool today. I didn't want bare feet on the ground. In UVA Rise, it's a lovely time to kind of meditate with your eyes open and listen to the birds and the wind and connect with nature if you have a space like that to do that. And we can talk about what to do if you don't feel like you have that space. It's also really good for nervous system regulation, to orient to my environment and feel my bottom in my chair and feel rooted to the ground, sense the sky above me, and just, not be looking at my computer screen and instead just be orienting to my environment. It connects me to the ventral vagal part of my nervous system that helps me feel calm and connected and creative. Also, we get the benefits in UVA Rise of the Schumann resonance, which is an oscillation of waves from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere and back, goes up and down at a rate of 7.83 hertz, 7.83 waves per second. And that's the same oscillation as the alpha waves in our brain. So connecting with the Schumann resonance for as many minutes in the morning during UVA Rise as I can just helps me be in a calmer, creative space. It's certainly better for my health than jumping on the computer right away, or certainly checking my phone or looking at news, for example. And sitting here with my feet on the ground, I'm also connecting with the Earth's magnetism, which is currently 0.5 Gauss. What I understand, the magnetism of the Earth from the molten iron core in the middle is actually going down slowly over time, but it's currently 0.5 Gauss. I miss the magnetism of the Earth when I'm inside. I do have a Magnetico sleep pad on my bed upstairs, but I can't reach it now because I need knee replacement surgery. So I miss that form of magnetism. If you're not familiar with Magnetico sleep pads, I'll leave a link below. They are very expensive, but it's one of the key parts of quantum health to connect with magnetism, because the magnetism excites our electrons. And the electrons can then zip around to where they need to be for what they need to do in our cells more easily, basically. So my friend, the last thing I want to say about why I'm celebrating UVA Rise in spring is because I find it to be such a peaceful, healing time of day. No matter what else is going on in my life or in the world, I feel very at peace during UVA Rise and sunrise. But UVA Rise, the sun is warmer and it just feels really good. It's an oasis of peace and healing no matter what's going on around you. Thank you for joining me today, my friend. Please remember that this video is for informational purposes only. I'm not sharing medical advice. And please consider liking and subscribing. And please leave a comment below. Are you familiar with UVA Rise? Are you familiar with circadian quantum health at all? Do you have questions about what I shared today? Please leave a comment or question. And take care. I appreciate you. Have a great day.